Believe it or not, I used to be very smart, you know what I'm saying, very smart lad, but I don't know if it's wrong. What's good with y'all boys? It's your man OgMk and welcome back to another video, man. As y'all can see on the screen, we have Methadone mile. What kind of Methadone mile inside Boston's drug epidemic? I didn't even know Boston had a drug epidemic. Where is Boston? Boston's in New York, right? I hope. Yeah, Boston's in New York. Anyways, they got a drug epidemic up there, and apparently meth it's a meth epidemic. But y'all already know Tommy G. We just gonna go ahead and watch the video. Let me go ahead and educate myself on what's going on in these streets of Boston, man. Let's go ahead and get right into it.
We've seen this situation spiral out of control during the past 5 years. It's a complex problem, and the city's plan isn't working. It's impacting businesses, residents, and the hundreds here on the streets.
Seeing this just makes me like so sad. And when you're using, you don't realize it. It really like opens your eyes to just how bad it really is.
That's mini zombie land. Nothing but zombies walking around. That's really their world over there.
Oh my God.
You ever hit Mass Ave? That's Geeker land.
Sold alive my first tote of crack. Imagine that. When
I ain't gonna lie. Now hear me out. If y'all had a chance, just one time, if these were the circumstances, you had a chance to do crack one time, meth, whatever, and not get hooked on it just once, you just like, you know what I'm saying, just a quick, you know what I'm saying, would y'all do it just to experience it? Like, now I would. Now it's just gonna be just to get the experience though, you know what I'm saying? It's like just to get that outer body, because you have to, come on, you gotta do everything at least once, right? You know what I'm saying? YOLO, y'all don't say that no more? Or am I just getting too old? Or am I too old?
attacks, you allow your pregnant girlfriend to go and lay on her back, detoxing them cold shakes. Man, it made my soul break. Rotten teeth, I can see my skull in my own face.
Right here, was showing through my skin. I got started when I was 10. By 12, I was smoking crack and doing dope.
I've been selling drugs since I was like 12.
These people are people. Some of these are like the nicest, greatest people. They just had like really bad trauma or really bad losses in life or just bad luck.
It's a demon. He's one hard motherfucker to cast away.
Methadone mile.
Perhaps no place in America better exemplifies the opioid epidemic than Boston's Methadone mile. Each morning, hundreds of addicts line up at methadone clinics to get their dose, hoping today won't be the day that they relapse. In the 90s, Big Pharma flooded the market with pain pills, getting millions hooked and walking away with billions in profit, all while facing little to no consequences. But the aftermath of what they did is still visible in the streets of Boston today.
In this open-air drug market, crack, fentanyl, meth, and xylazine
habits are as cheap as a few dollars a day. And here in these streets, people are trapped in a grim and brutal cycle of addiction. In this story, we'll peel back the layers, speaking to people from Harvard.
Wait, so Methadone mile is, so they're lining up outside of these pharmacies to get pills? I thought he was about to say they're just lining up, waiting for people to come and sell. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to say, y'all, if y'all want to do it right out in the open, then you know what I'm saying. Sure.
Doctors to people
but
selling
they getting
crack,
it from
and
the
from
source.
the addicts
Like
fighting for survival to those who've escaped their
shit.
addiction and now work to help others. Furthermore, we aim to uncover the deeper question of how Methadone mile came to be. As we unravel this mystery, we'll reveal how a single failed infrastructure project may be a key factor behind the hundreds now living in the streets of Boston. Welcome to the side of Boston you've never seen before.
Bridge
this
collapsed.
episode
I
is
feel
brought
like
to you
everybody
by today's
forgot about
sponsor,
that.
BetterHelp. I've had the opportunity to interview everyone from
Tommy
billionaires
G,
to
but
fentanyl dealers.
watch me snipe it.
G.
Bam, just like that. So, Boston is not in New York. That just said MA. I'm pretty sure that's Massachusetts, right? God. Don't do drugs, kids. Believe it or not, I used to be very smart, you know what I'm saying, very smart lad, but I don't know if it's wrong.
If there's any place in America that's been affected by the opioid crisis, this has to be one of the ground zero spots. So something interesting in history, guys, is that way back in the day, Boston had a very booming opium trade. And actually that's one of the main hospitals in the area of Methadone Mile, Mass General. The endowment was funded by the opium traders. And we got a lot of Chinese folks addicted to opium. Fast forward to today, now Chinese fentanyl is flooded our streets, and the very hospitals that were created from that wealth of the opium is now being used to help fight fentanyl addiction. So it's interesting the parallels of history, how it weaves.
I'm about to say it's crazy.
The first guy we're going to meet with is a guy by the name of Eric, who also goes by his rapper name Exit Fame. By day, he's a recovery specialist that helps people navigate their own addiction and get better. And by night, he's an artist. He's a rapper. He's actually on tour right now.
Nice to meet you, man.
Nice to meet you.
Welcome, guys. Good, good. What this
is,
this area, this is what they called it: Mass Ave, Mass and Cass, Methadone Mile. This is a halfway house right here. It houses like 90 guys. A lot of craziness happens in there. I've been to a lot of halfway houses myself. I've been out here, stuff like that, but.
Man, just seeing that is just depressing. Like I couldn't see this every day. Like I'd be like,
some of these people I know,
especially if it's
like
the
my guy
same
right
people
here.
over and over again
What up,
too.
man? Not much. What are you up to? We're actually doing a documentary on this area, but I know everybody don't want to be filmed. You know,
I don't want to
have a couple
sound
bucks
like
for you.
that guy, but it's
Meet me around the corner.
I don't know how people can get
go to the gas station. Not everybody can come out here. You know what I mean?
Look at the YouTube.
Yeah.
Anything I start, I could just stop.
What does it take to get that? To get clean?
A lot of pain.
It's crazy because I'm a recovery coach with Gavin now. I'm working in Beth Israel hospitals. I came from circumstances, man, where I was a follower. You know what I mean? Being a follower, it put me in situations where 17 years of my life in prisons, DYS, you know what I mean?
Without Eric with us, we would have gotten a very aggressive response. I mean, these are people that are suffering in a very difficult part of their life. But because Eric was such a well-respected and known figure in the area, when they saw Eric, they wanted to come by and share their story. What happened to your hand, man?
Xylazine.
Yeah?
Yeah. It literally eats like the tissue. It's supposed to like mimic benzos.
What happens when you do benzos?
Sorry if y'all hear all the cars outside. You know, I live in a
pick up charges.
You like to fight when you're on benzos?
No, I like to steal things. I'll wake up like 3-4 days later going, what happened?
In the midst of Methadone Mile, you got business owners, people living here, people that are just fighting to survive, pay rent, pay the energy bill, and have to live with hundreds and hundreds of users all around them. And so we're actually going into an auto shop to talk to people about what it's like conducting business.
Every day you get like 2-3 boosters trying to come and sell me stuff. They'll steal it from like the local South Bay over there. It was a fentanyl deal that got arrested right in front of us right here. That happens at least like twice a month, to be honest. I've actually caught a lot of people using the bathroom here, taking shits outside right there. I had to like clean that up. It's pretty dirty. That is human shit, yeah. I'd say on a week we get at least like 2 cars breaking into so they can sleep in there. For example, I got that car right there with a broken window. Obviously it's a junk car, but they still broke the window and they sleep inside the car and stuff. So I had this dude, he used to work for us, he used to like help us sweep up. So one time I gave him my car to go basically get a part from the parts store down the street. The car keys had the keys to the shop. Me, I wasn't thinking that he would go to Home Depot and copy the key, which is exactly what he did. He came in with that copied key, stole the whole shop, basically robbed it all. Robbed TVs, even robbed the vehicle that was in here. You can see like what a mess it was, honestly. There was like pipes on the ground. There was I'd say at least like 10 needles, to be honest, because he came with like at least 4 people.
So you've tried to employ people from the area?
Yeah.
And
try to help them, but yeah.
Would you do it again?
Hell nah.
No.
Look, we've been in a couple facilities together. You know, we was in
Chunky stole my whole shop. Like, I ain't helping nobody else, boy.
He's a good dude.
And I feel like that's why a lot of people don't help their community. They probably help somebody,
General Hospital,
fuck them over,
medicine at Harvard
and they
Medical
say
School.
never again.
The recovery process
say the
off
same
opiates
shit.
is awful. First of all, you're physically addicted, and it's miserable to come off the opiates.
How accessible is recovery in the city?
It's good. There's a very good support system. You know, everyone I knew growing up, all the old people I watched either die, end up in prison, or institutions. You know. It even runs in my family.
Is that when you were growing up, when you were young too?
Yeah. I started seeing it when I was young, you know.
What do you see as the way out of all of this?
I know that the only way out of all of this is to do the right thing, make a step to change your life, and, you know, get sober.
You get addicted, your sort of emotional connection unfortunately becomes with the drug itself, and you sort of tune out other people. So the minute you take the drug away, you're very lonely and you're just kind of stuck in this awful place where you're. And then third of all, you're dealing with all the chaos that you've created in your life. I think most people, some people are lucky, but most people create quite a mess.
Like my mother's in addiction, you know, and she's like the most important person in my life. I can be there for her, be around her, and I know that if she's in active addiction using, I can't change her or make her better, you know, you have to want it on your own.
I am an Alcoholics Anonymous. Shout out to all the fellowships out there that's helping people change their lives. My father had this disease, because we do believe that this is a disease. And got to a point where he was sneaking drugs out of my stuff, and one day I found him dead in the house. I had to smoke crack to deal with life. I had to use dope to deal with life. But now I'm stealing from my mother. I'm stealing from my kids. And the craziness that I did to get the next one, jumping in cars while they're still running, only to find that there's a baby in the back. I'm playing with my life now just to get higher, steal something from someone's car I haven't used since 2019, August 3rd. For anybody out there watching this, man, and seeing the reality of what's really going on, nobody wants to be in this situation. We all looking for a way out, and that's why it's never go back.
Never go back. I thought we were witnessing someone stealing something from the whip. I was finna say, God damn. In the community though, this is what it's all about.
Two of my uncles and my cousins is out here right now. I'm hoping I could run into them. I'm basically right now spreading love through food.
How much did you go out of pocket to make this happen?
Yeah. 500.
So how do you fund all this?
I'm blessed.
Yeah.
People give to me, so I give back.
And what kind of impact do you see, or what kind of interactions you have with people that are feeling cared for, maybe for the first time in a week or a month or a year?
As long as somebody smiles. You hungry? No, baby, this is free.
You moved out here from Florida?
Yeah, I've been out here since 18, started using dope. My kid's mother first started using needles. I never used a needle in my life, bro, till she hit me.
Hey, what's up?
Motherfucker, where you been to?
I've been locked up.
He said, I've been locked up. That's my dude. You gotta get your ass back in treatment, man.
I've been home for a year and a half. Tomorrow.
For real, go. I didn't even recognize you at first. I was like, oh, that's fucking Jimmy.
So it's really encouraging to see, like, even when you dive into the weeds, that one of the first things we jump into is people that are actively giving back and working to help make this place better. So we got this lady here that set up their food. We have Exit Fame, who every single day is in the trenches trying to help people, bring them to recovery. What got someone to a place that they started off as a cute little healthy baby to someone on the street? And that's part of the mystery that we're unraveling.
I feel like when you be born, you got a 50-50 chance. You either got a 50-50 chance you're gonna be in the right community, 50-50 chance you're gonna be in the wrong community. And you got 50-50 chance than that. You have a 50-50 chance you're gonna do some dumb shit in that community.
I thought crack was a relic of maybe the 80s, and that with fentanyl had been
try to be the oddball, like try to break away.
Alive and well here in Boston, and
that's for both.
More cities than I know about.
Good or bad.
It's kind of crazy. We're driving through a wealthy neighborhood. We're only 10 minutes from the spot, and it just goes to show you're never really that far away from where it goes down. For context, there's kids on a playground. Like outside, it's very normal and family-like, and inside there's crack.
Great.
Yo, we're outside. What's up, bro? Good to meet you.
Oh, they eating a crack out. Oh yeah, he cook. Oh yeah, he cooking up.
All right, you here with Chef Twin. We gonna show you how to turn this into a cookie.
Couldn't they just get the floor plan or some shit from the kitchen?
I learned how to chef when I was like 16.
What do you think about the risks of this business?
There's always a bunch of risks, but that's what comes with it. You gotta take risks to get rich. That's my motto.
Is there such thing as secondhand high just from cooking it?
I think you guys wanna this is around the time where it'll start doing that. But if you can see, it dried up.
Do you ever feel bad for the fiends?
Not really. I actually love my fiends too. I don't be feeling bad though. I feel like whatever you're consuming is on you.
When you look at Mass Ave and all the people outside on the street,
I feel it. As long as y'all give me.
What role do you feel like you play in all of that?
As long as y'all give me that bread.
They're gonna get it one way or another. I'm just helping them out, making it easy for them.
In the last 7 days, how much money would you say you've made doing this?
Probably like 4,000. Not too crazy.
Have you ever lost a client?
In 4 days.
Yeah, I have actually. She got high in front of her. She just kept getting high. She got high. She kept buying. Until she ran out of money. When she ran out of money and I seen that she was like, I left. Like the next day, 2 days later, we got the call saying that she was dead from my other scene.
Not every scene was able to fit into this video, so to see a treasure trove of inside access to see things you can't find anywhere else on the internet, click my Patreon link. It is in the description.
Oh yeah, I might have to get in there. Hey, let me not say nothing. Do what you gotta do, man. ABC always be cheating, cause
we're up early to see what the methadone clinics look like right now. Apparently there are lines around the corner. This is when everyone gets their dose of methadone. And we want to see what that's like. Opioid withdrawals are often so intense that they stop people from even trying to detox. But instead of enduring the agony of going cold turkey, many users turn to the synthetic opioid methadone. While some say it's just another drug for users to get hooked on, others celebrate methadone's ability to reduce substance cravings and withdrawal symptoms. And that's why you see all these people lined up here early in the morning at these methadone clinics. For some, it's their lifeline to recovery.
So methadone is actually a drug. Okay. I thought that was just a play on words like meth mild type shit.
About what time does the methadone clinic line start? 5 a.m. in the morning. So people are up early. Yeah. So people are wondering, does methadone help the problem or hurt the problem?
It helps the problem. Hey, what's up, man?
What's going on, Dylan? What time do you guys get up and get ready to get in the line?
I guess so you can have them all in the line, like so you know where they are.
When you first receive a dose of methadone, how do you feel after?
So it takes about 15 minutes for it to kick in, but after it kicks in, I feel like just relaxed, more or less.
The same, normal.
Like, is there a high or a buzz to it?
No buzz.
So would you say it helps your life?
Definitely, it honestly saved my life. I've been on drugs on and off for 10 years. I tried Suboxone, Sublocade, what's the other one, Vivitrol, all the shots.
Yeah.
And I've noticed methadone's the one that really helped me the most.
Methadone.
That's xylazine. That's what xylazine does, yeah.
That's from xylazine?
Yeah, it's all from xylazine. I had to see how tough.
I know people that sniffing to get it.
Yeah, that's what that is. I had one point with my shin bone here, right here, was showing through my skin, right here. And it's gotten to get that way again anyway, but all this is from xylazine. The back here, these cuts, this one here I could put my finger through before. But yeah,
I can't even see it.
The nasty,
nasty.
All in here. Like
how much did a rough childhood play a part in where you are today?
Nigga, the Jordan jacket look like
the whole Catholic priest thing. And I would say that was the biggest thing that made me want to use.
I got started when I was 10. My brother was 5 years older. He got me selling weed by 10. By 12, I was smoking crack and doing dope.
Where were your parents in all of this?
Too busy to give a fuck about us. My father just beat the shit out of us every day. And my mother kind of wished she never had us. She said it all the time. And she didn't even cry when my brother got murdered after he did 12 years in Walpole.
It starts with the parents.
She didn't cry at his funeral. I miss my brother every day.
If you ain't ready to have kids financially,
addiction has to do a lot of times with like untreated trauma or untreated anxiety and depression in your life.
Yeah,
I mean, these people need mental health care. I don't know how these people manage to do it if
you
they're
ain't
living on the streets,
and
no health
mentally
insurance,
there,
no job, no supportive community. We've really got to meet them where they are. These people are people. Some of these are like the nicest, greatest people. A lot of them just had like really bad trauma or really bad losses in life or just bad luck. Getting them on medical therapy is the first step. And make sure they're not going to overdose. Get them on Suboxone, Methadone. But you have to get people housing. It's very difficult to stay in stable recovery if you don't have a stable place for housing.
What resources are out there to help you on your journey?
Oh, I can go into a program where people got mad drugs and just do them in there. There is no help.
So the biggest misconception is that we have these happy hedonists roaming around, whereas The people who are addicted are the most miserable people on the face of the earth, and they desperately need our help.
So they go to the program, and they also sell the drugs in the program.
You get resin, and you get a push. And unfortunately, this is this little bit will get you going and turn into a day of a devil chase. We're sitting here interviewing, but this is not something that's to be glorified. This is a disease that we're facing, and it's literally a mental trap. Unfortunately, this is what crack cocaine and drugs do to you. For anyone who's watching this, I would say, if you're not doing drugs, don't do them. But if you're doing them, do them the safest way you can, and just try to stay conscious and stay strong, and eventually you'll get through it.
So what's the penalty if a cop sees this?
Nothing.
We were across the street from a jail where inmates were cleaning up garbage and cop cars lined the street, and these users were openly using drugs without any concern for being caught.
Anywhere else, I swear, this is like a zone for where this is allowed.
We're literally next to a sheriff, and are you worried at all with having open stuff?
No, I would never hit you, don't worry. I'm precision with that thing.
Good to see you, brother.
Good to see you.
My name's Matt.
Nice to meet you. Here, walk and talk with me. We're doing a Methadone Mile documentary.
Exit, what's up, brother? See all the big hits out
right here.
Congratulations. Yeah, man.
Sober house.
Yeah, thank you, bro.
I heard.
This shit's wild out here, bro. So that's like a common thing, right? You'll see that all day, every day. You see how it is.
Tell me about, do you have a story with recovery or addiction?
Yeah, I did 17 years in prison, bro. I was in the max for 17 years. I started getting high up there, doing dope. When I got home, I was clean for about a year, and then
Your addiction started in prison?
Yeah, I shot dope for the first time in prison. It's crazy.
How hard is it to get in prison?
Your deal is next door. You know what I mean? They'll cuff it to you. Do whatever.
So as a former user, taking away the tents, does that help the situation or hurt the situation?
In my opinion, they took people out of a secluded area and put them right on Front Street, bro.
Just hours ago, we saw plenty of tents and plenty of crowds out at Mass and Cass. We did talk with the mayor. She did say the city is making progress, but agrees more needs to be done. Boston Mayor Michelle Wu says things are better than a year ago with more people in permanent and transitional housing.
It's not the same as where we were a year ago with fortified encampments and people who have been truly residing on the streets for years at that point.
For the most part, I feel like these people are harmless, bro. You know what I mean? It's just a matter of, mixing it up with the drugs.
Where do you put folks like this? What do you do with guys like that?
Man, it's hard, bro, because they go to the hospital and they'll kick you back. If you don't say you're suicidal, they're kicking you back out on the streets.
When I meditate, I inhale through my nose. In the streets, I exhale crack smoke and negativity through my mouth. Money feeds your ego. Integrity makes you the man of the house. I'm not from Milwaukee, but since 13, I was chasing them bucks. Being mentally locked in is better than being physically locked up.
We're out here at Bedrock in front of a recovery center.
Yo,
we're going to talk to a guy that just hit 8 years sober today. And also show you inside a facility that someone might come to start that journey of recovery and sobriety. Tell the people who you are and why today is important.
So I'm mathematics. I'm a recovering alcoholic or an addict, recovering, gangster get money and stuff in the streets. And then now today, I'm also recovering from low self-esteem, low self-worth, low self-doubt, also addiction and alcoholism and criminal thinking. And so today I celebrate 8 years of recovery. And what makes me in recovery is because I work a program that's a thinking and a personality change.
What is your role in this facility?
So I'm a group specialist, and then I'm also an alumni coordinator, and I do community engagement. So I get people back into the facility if they need help. You just gotta surrender. You can do it. You already did it for 8 months, so you know you can do it. You just gotta give yourself another shot.
3 years clean when I fucking went out.
Okay.
Remember I met you over the tent?
Yes, yes. You got this, you got this, you got this.
So pretend you just found me on Mass Ave. What am I going through today?
All right, so the first thing that would happen is you would come and do an intake inside of here. There'd be like a nurse. You get like some toiletries. And this is where they do the intake. They ask you like what you're detoxing from, a whole plethora of questions. And then the nurse clears you to go upstairs to either residential, if your urine's clean, if you're stable. But if you need a detox, you gotta go to detox for up to 8 days.
Seeing how nice this place is, It's hard for me to imagine choosing to stay in the street over coming here.
Yeah, but there's a mental obsession, and the mental obsession is so strong that, you know, a mental obsession is a persistent, reoccurring thought that doesn't respond to logic or reason.
First of all, you're physically addicted, and it's miserable to come off the opiates, and that lasts for weeks. And then there's a psychological component. It's very difficult to get off opiates. When you get addicted, your sort of emotional connection unfortunately becomes with the drug itself, and you sort of tune out other people. So the minute you take the drug away, you're very lonely and you're just kind of stuck in this awful place.
So it'd be logical and reasonable to say that, but when that mental obsession, the grips of addiction are on you, it's all about the next one. We put this in front of our families, in front of our mothers, in front of our kids.
It's nice that they be doing this though.
My arm, and 2 minutes later, I'll go call the dealer and get more of the stuff that'll almost just kill me. No fear, you can't scare an alcoholic or an addict. So I would come down to this methadone clinic, get my dose, and then after you get your dose, and then you walk up this way, and when I would start walking up this way, it would be to like sell pills, either buy some crack. Sometimes I would get high over here behind these trailers. So this is the infamous McDonald's. Before you could sell drugs out there in the open like it's going now before COVID, most of all the drugs were sold through the McDonald's right here.
What is the recovery rate? If they come in here for an 8-day treatment, what is the percentage chance they're gonna?
1 out of 10 make it to 30 days. 8 days isn't enough. Detox is grammar school, then 30-day treatments high school, then inpatient like 2 or 3 month treatments college, and IOP 5 is like master degree. IOP 3 is like PhD. And then going home right after detox is like trying to get a master's and a doctorate at the same time. So you're trying to go home with a grammar school education, but you're trying to pass doctorate and master's degree level classes. And that's why we have 13 alcoholics and addicts dying every hour.
Does harm reduction, does it help people or does it enable addiction?
So I had a bad vision of harm reduction before, but I think now the scope is we'd rather have the person alive on harm reduction than pass away. My only thing with harm reduction is most people get on it, but they struggle to get off. Most addicts and alcoholics, we only know how to start doing drugs and alcohol, but we don't know how to stop. So this is my office.
You got an office, man?
Yeah.
What is it like for your family and friends seeing you back in the day hustling, taking, using to, he has post-it notes on his computer.
Oh, my mother's really proud of me. You know what I mean? She can sleep good at night. My kids are proud of me. I went from being a deadbeat dad to now I raise my daughter full time. Camp, after school programs, we spend time together. She comes to all my events. She's in the bulk of my videos. So it's just like, you know, I went from being a neglectful father to actually now being a nurturing father.
Never too late, man. Nice though. Nice little setup.
To uncover the origins of Methadone, we brought together a powerhouse of Boston legends. From Millie, the rapper who's putting Massachusetts on the map, to Bean Shooter, a former addict and frequent flyer to prison, and now a guy who transformed himself and became an entrepreneur, comedian, and a source of inspiration for those in recovery. Together, we chartered a boat and sailed towards the remains of the missing Long Island Bridge, a key piece of infrastructure that we believe holds the key to understanding how Methadone came to be.
So fellas, we're right by Long Island and Quincy. Tell me what this island means to you in your journey.
As far as I go, you know, I was always going out there to detox in Long Island or Andrew House Recovery on the island, which you could go out there to detox. They used to drive you over the bridge. They used to have these buses at night, and all the homeless people would line up, and they had a fenced-in area, and they'd bus them all over here at night, and then in the morning, you know, you'd go back. And then when they closed the island, they closed the detoxes, and the homeless were scattered all about, and they all ended up down on Mass Ave.
Tommy, this is where we can dock up right here. So we're pulling up on the dock, the Long Island, Quincy. From what I understand, it's entirely abandoned.
Wasn't that working? Wasn't that helping people?
Investigate.
It's like some Shutter Island type shit.
We might have to hop a couple fences. Boston PD, you guys can come get me in Milwaukee, all right? Back behind these trees and all the way down, we had sober living homes, recovery homes, juvenile detention facilities, and this is where people would get bused back. They'd be going through detox, they'd go bus back from Boston to here. And so you had a contained population that weren't out on the street. There's a ripple effect, there's a domino effect. One little thing leads to another, and it's crazy how one little bridge has led to hundreds and hundreds of people on the street, which has led to family members going missing, people living in tents on the street, and all because one little bridge started the domino effect.
It's a strange feeling being back here, you know. It just reminds me of, you know, being dope sick and going to detox, and it seems like another lifetime when I was coming out here all the time.
You think we're the only people on this island right now?
No, there's got to be someone else out here.
In the trees, in the woods.
Ski! Ski! It feels almost like we're watching the decay of America in slow motion. I mean, 100%. We're this rich, prosperous country, but we have these cities with all these addicts on the street. We have abandoned buildings with wooden boards over the windows. It's almost embarrassing because when most countries think of America, they don't think of this.
Everybody says we want to help addicts, we want to do this. And me opening sober homes, I found this firsthand until it goes into your neighborhood. Then we want money for addiction, just not in my fucking backyard.
To dig deeper on what the path to sobriety looks like, we head with Bean Shooter back to his stomping grounds of Lowell, a city near Boston, to visit his home and his sober house, to speak with the fellows there and get their insights on a path to a drug-free life.
That's my prison mugshot, actually.
What'd you go away for this one?
That one was trafficking over 100 pounds of marijuana.
That was when you did business for the cartel?
Yeah.
Did that make you nervous?
No, not really. They were good to me. They were good people. So when I got custody of my daughter, there was only 2 bedrooms, me and my father, and that was my bedroom. I had to make a bedroom up here, which is like a prison cell.
Camera. But it's all right, though.
This is how I live.
Y'all can hear my
Tommy don't believe it.
voice for the next 10 minutes.
The obligatory ice pick next to the bed. This is when I'm gonna climb down the ladder to piss at night. I'm a real fucking Viking.
You really piss that every
Sometimes I have to, Tommy, you know? Sometimes I have no fucking choice.
Over your lifetime, how much time did you spend in prison?
I've been asked that a lot. About 13, 14 years.
That's a long ass
14
time.
years
Yeah,
in prison.
but on the installment plan. Oh, this is my first sober house I bought. Want to see the house inside?
Yeah.
That's me. It's my old
Doing time like a gentleman since 1985.
Yeah, too.
Was part of your journey getting sober in a sober house like this?
Oh, I've been in a bunch of them, but when I got sober last time, I was in Deerfield Beach, Florida, and I was in a sober house, and I remember getting in there and I'm like, wait a minute, there's 6 guys in here paying $150 a week, that's $900 a week, that's fucking $3,600 a month in this little fucking ranch, right? And because I've always been a numbers guy, you know, selling drugs and doing whatever, and that was when I first got the idea, wow, you make money and you're helping people. Like anybody will tell you that's a recovering addict, helping another addict helps me.
So guys here, how long have they been sober for?
Everyone's different. I mean, I got a guy who's been here almost 4 years. You know, I get some guys who got out of detox a month ago. So and then sometimes people relapse. I had a guy recently who just relapsed. I saw him and I knew he was high. You know, they can try to lie to me and I'm like, oh, I'll take a urine right now. And I'm just like, hey, listen, you already failed it. If you already failed the eyeball test, like I'm not even gonna waste a fucking cup on you. And 99% of the time they'll be like, all right, you know. Recently, I came here just like this. We were right here on the porch, and Bundy went in. And I says, "Oh, go in and get so and so, Jason." And I heard him scream, "Get the Narcan!" And I'd been open 5 years. I'd never had anybody die in my house. And I ran in and I touched him, and he was ice cold. I just said, "Fucking, you can put the Narcan away," you know. He's gone, and that sucked. The family came, and I had to talk with them. And the kid had been here a while, 2 years, and he became a friend. You know, with him all the time, and I felt guilt over it, like. I dropped the ball, and then I talked to his brother, and his brother said, yeah, I know he got high a couple times. He'd been here so long, I was comfortable with him. I hadn't urined him for a couple of weeks, because usually at least once a week I'll urine you. And I felt like, you know, I kind of dropped the ball on that one. See someone die in your house, it sucks, so we try to keep that from happening again.
Damn. Well, I thought that was how much was going on.
How far into your journey of sobriety are you?
Right now, I came here November 6th of last year, but my recovery is good. You know, it's been a struggle and a roller coaster.
How many days in are you?
Altogether, since last year, it would have been 10 months.
Just driving around here, even a few blocks around here, there's a lot more people out in the park. I'd imagine if if your #1 goal is to be sober and then you're surrounded by people that are using 2 blocks away, 3 blocks away, does it make that journey difficult?
No, because sometimes, you know, when I leave out of here, I pray. I say, God, you know, just lead me in the right path. And I go from here straight to the recovery cafe. You know, I don't like to pass through the park through there because they all know me. I know everybody from Lowell. And, you know, it breaks my heart just to see a lot of my friends on active addiction and I can't do nothing about it, you know.
How many people do you think you've lost to fentanyl?
I've lost a lot, over 30 at least. I've seen a lot of dead people in my life, man. A lot of faces that I'm always dreaming about. You get traumatized, man. Look at that guy's colors, blue and gray. I mean, it's just sad, you know.
Lopez, thank you for sharing your story, man. We wish you the best on your journey, okay?
All right.
I feel like he got it.
You managed a sober living house.
One
of the biggest hurdles, keeping 12 other people in this house sober.
They go out, they do their thing, they come back in here, and a lot of them, they start drinking, they start doing whatever, dope, whatever. And I'll try to work with it. You go to rehab for a couple of weeks. If not, you get the fuck out.
So have you had to kick someone out before?
Yeah.
A taxpayer might say, why am I funding addicts getting free needles, free pipes when I can barely pay rent? What do you think about that?
I don't know, it's almost like you're encouraging. I don't know, it's a 50-50. It can go swing both ways.
Mr. Kranowski, so how long you been sober now?
So now, it's getting close to three years.
3 years.
He's the manager of my other sober house. So Bundy's the manager of this one, Brian's the manager of my other one.
This is the perfect place for me. This is good stuff. A lot of good stuff goes on here. I got my old job back. I beat the case. They told me beat the case. You get your job back. I got my old job back. Just bought a car. First time in 15 years, probably 20 years. I'm making moves right now. Making moves.
Yeah. So basically, we had these big corporate companies like Purdue Pharma, the Sackler family, pushing tons of this stuff out. Then people are starting to get, that starts the addiction journey. None of them ever went to jail. None of them ever got in trouble. They're still very rich. And meanwhile, millions of Americans now are
ruined
struggling.
so many lives, yeah.
What do you guys think about that?
They should be fucking hung by their balls. It's corporate greed.
Gentlemen, hey, I just want to say, I wish you guys the best on your journey. Thank you for sharing your story.
But he's
Take care.
smoking though. I get, well, everybody smokes, I
Big
guess.
Pharma can run amok, racking up billions in profit
Cigarettes.
and leaving a trail of millions in misery in their wake. Also, a few top shareholders can pop a cork from their stupid
coke
yacht.
and
I wish we had politicians
crack
that
and
actually represented the people and protected
shooting up
Americans
the
from
club
companies
and
that
shit, I
care
guess.
nothing for their impact on the world, but only for their financial bottom line. But perhaps I'll address that in a future episode when one day this channel goes on an absolute fucking rampage exposing Big Pharma. And while we all are aware that some shadowy corporate villains are in our crosshairs, let's end this episode by celebrating the local heroes striving to make a difference. Exit Fame, Mathematics, and Bean Shooter. I have their Instagrams tagged in the description. Please blow them up with positive messages.
Real
and finally,
people making
the
a
people out
difference,
there
man.
struggling
I
to be
love to see
sober,
it.
I'm rooting for you. You got this. I'll see you guys next week.
All right. And that's the end of the video. How you guys feel about that, man? Man, Massachusetts. I did not know about the methadone mile. I did not. So it looks like they kind of had everything under control when they had them all on the island. And then when the bridge collapsed, I guess everything just went to shit. I think they did that on purpose. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Let me get your side of things. Would you or do you know anybody who are on hard drugs? Have you ever been on hard drugs? Let me know. I need a that switched the whole mood up. Damn, Tommy G. But nah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. The original video will be the first link in the description box below. And yeah, man, I'll see you guys in the next one.